7 minutes past 12 on Tuesday, the 27th of June. Those of you that are following the story, last night I put a video up explaining that we'd received 3 notifications. Here's the original notification. This was supposed to be Galway court on Thursday. All of a sudden, this scrap of paper was put through my door at an unregistered address, okay, unsigned. No indicators whatsoever where it came from. Another one, I got a text telling me to be here as well, allegedly from a guard. And finally, this also went to another address. As you can see, nothing official on here whatsoever. It's not court service headed note paper. There's no signature. There's no date. So I suspected that there was something suspicious afoot. And already it's been confirmed that there was something suspicious afoot, because we got here. We were here about 11:15, only about 15 minutes after the due time, but we'd advised them in advance by email that we were going to possibly be late because I'm a full-time carer for my son Danny. But anyway, we did pretty well. We got here. There was another case already being heard. The long and the short of it was, I wasn't standing at the entrance more than about 5 minutes when a guard, I won't name him because I believe he was trying his best to be cordial and respectful, but the guard who sent me the text to be here today walked up to me and introduced himself, apologised for not getting back to me on the messages I've sent to the phone. Nobody answered, right? But he's come all the way, I will say where he's come from. He's come all the way from Kilchima in County Mayo. Now that's a roughly 2 hours drive to get here. The question has to be asked, what was he doing here when none of the opposition witnesses have turned up? None of them. Now, as we speak, apparently the barrister, we went in, then my case was called. I urged the people, a few members of the public outside, come on in. The guards are trying to make it a sort of a private, when I say trying to, if you've got a case, an appeal case, you can come into the courts now. And I say, yes, and all members of the public. And he says it again, if you've got a, yes, and all members of the public. Why? Because it's supposed to be a public courtroom. This is an attempt, I believe, to try and confine the case to as few witnesses as possible. Okay, we've got a couple of friends here with us today, so at least we won't be alone in there. But anyway, as we speak, apparently, there is a convoy of witnesses on the way over here. Why aren't they here? Why have I gotten 3 notifications telling me to be here at 10:30 this morning, but none of the opposition are here? Again, I'll tell you, it's because I suspect, and I think this evidence proves it, none of them expected me to be here today. I was supposed to either ignore these, or, as a friend suggested, it's possible that they knew that it was unlikely I could have gotten here by this morning. I won't go into details with that, guys, but let's say I was elsewhere, and it's only by chance and happenstance that we were able to get here this morning the way that we have done. I believe the plan was to have the matter adjourned again for another 2 or 3 months. Just, again, try to run us, to exhaust us, to frustrate us, and maybe eventually I'll get run over by a bus or something, and they'll never have to air these materials. So anyway, just to give you a brief update, guys, we'll wait and see what happens later. Judge James O'Donoghue, the senior circuit court judge in the country under the president of the circuit court, is here. Apparently, he's only been here once before, or so I was told by a court service manager. So this is unusual that we would have the very most senior circuit court judge dealing with this case here today. I don't know of any other special cases that are on. I do believe that he's been sent out here especially to, let's say, deal with this in the manner that is least embarrassing to the system. Anyway, hopefully this is going live. You can see at the back here the wonderful Clifton Courthouse in Galway. If you're nearby, guys, come on down. We've been told that the witnesses won't get here until at least 12:30. Then, listen, if the judge listens to my appeal, and if he's a decent man, he's going to be shocked, appalled, and ashamed of actually being in the same profession as all of these other so-called officers of the court. We'll see what happens, guys. Like I said, I'm on a mission at the moment, not so much to get justice per se. I don't think it's possible in this system. What I am doing, though, is trying to advertise to as many people as possible out there what really goes on within the so-called corridors of power in this state. All of the lies and deceptions and trickery that's been visited on us. Okay? So anyway, hopefully I'll get a chance today to cross-examine these witnesses, that's a court service manager and Gardaí, including an inspector, a sergeant, another guard, who have all lied on the stand in contradiction of video evidence that proves they're lying, and judges still say they prefer to take the verbal evidence of the guards. It's ridiculous, guys. Anyway, hopefully we'll still be here to do an update later on in the day. Thanks for all the support, guys. If anyone is nearby, please come down. Make yourself known to us. We imagine what will happen is shortly before midday, the judge will be told, oh yes, all the witnesses are here now. Abandon court for lunch. There'll be whispered discussions and everything. But it's hugely suspicious, guys, that none of the witnesses are here. Yet I was ordered to be here. And apparently the guard who sent me the text, he advised me that he was here today in case I didn't turn up. And I'll tell you what, if I hadn't have turned up here today, he would have gone in and said, oh, we have notified Mr. Manning, that he's supposed to be here today. The judge wouldn't know, for example, how they notified me on unsigned, undated, unannotated note paper. He wouldn't have known that. They would just say, oh yeah, we told him. And possibly the judge could have said, quite legitimately, oh well, case thrown out, he hasn't turned up. He was notified, he's not here, case thrown out. The easiest and quickest way for the state to deal with a case that absolutely, horrendously embarrasses all of them. At least all of the rogue elements, which unfortunately is just about all of the ones we've had to deal with. So anyway, guys, thanks again. We will give you another update later on. God bless.